Are you a guitarist and your band needs a bass player but you do not know what to do on the bass guitar? Well, today I'm sharing with you 4 tips for any guitarist to pick up the bass right away. Before I start, let me share with you what we do in this channel. I talk about all things guitar related, and in this case, bass guitar as well. So in time to come, maybe I'll even cover like ukulele or acoustic guitar, depending on what is on the menu. We will also talk about tips and tricks, top 10s, and all the guitar related news. So if you're new to this channel, please remember to click the subscribe button so that we can learn and progress together. Right, let's begin. I think for a start, the bass guitar is the most underrated instrument in the band. It's like nobody ever wants to be the bassist because they feel like, I'll be just hiding among my band members and I'll never get a chance to shine. I think that's where you're all wrong. If you're playing in a regular top 40 bands, perhaps the bass line will often be rather disappointing, rather boring, and that is the reason why people say that, bass players don't cross the 5th fret. Well, I don't think that is true because there are many very good bassists out there and they create wonderful bass lines and melodies on their instrument. I mean, we have Victor Wooten who creates hauntingly beautiful melodies on the bass guitar, scarily fast and loud Billy Sheehan, and the ever-funky Marcus Miller. What more do you want? So let's cut it short and watch the demo that I've created for you. Let's go! So the first technique is very simple. Any guitarist should be able to do it on the spot. What I was doing was simply supporting the root note of that chord progression. But one thing to point out is that I add a little bit of ghost notes every now and then in between the root notes, something like this. That little choky or muted sound is what makes the whole bass line a lot more interesting. The second technique is where you play octave above the root note. And then maybe you throw in some kind of rhythm, some kind of plucking rhythm. And there you made it a lot more interesting. The third method is where I will do walking bass. Now walking bass traditionally sounds more like this. Now of course in this case it doesn't suit the song, so I have to see what I can come up with. In order for the walking bass to work, you need to know what are the notes available around the root note. In other words, you need to know either the mode or scale, depending on how you look at it. For me, the first root note, E, is in a minor mode. And because of that, I'll know where are my available notes and I'll craft my walking bass line around it. Finally, the fourth technique, the slap and pop. This technique is not easy, it takes some time to get used to, but once you've got it, it's actually quite easy to pull off. It's pretty much like playing an octave effect. If you're a guitarist that's comfortable with plucking on the guitar, you are already set to do slap and pop on the bass. The first thing I'll do is to make sure that my right hand is in this plucking position, and then I will do this wrist slapping. And then the pop is basically using my middle finger, where the string is supposed to go away from the fretboard and not up and down like if you would to pick on a pick. So that's where it creates this pop sound. And if you want to make it more interesting, one thing I do is I do a double thumb before I move on to the next pop. So it sounds something like this. And that's it. With this 4 technique, you're ready to be the bassist in your band. Like I said earlier, the bass guitar is pretty much the most underrated instrument in the band. If you spend some time with it, I guarantee you find more satisfaction with this instrument. I hope you learned something in this video. Do remember to hit the subscribe button. I'm Vinny. Bye. You've reached the end of my video. Click on the link to watch more of my awesome video, or click on the subscribe button to wait for the next wonderful video. Click it. Come on, click it. Don't worry, they want to be tracking what you're watching. Click it now.